please do not ruin my career. Please, please, please.
April 8, 2021. The Whitehall Police Department is contacted with a report of someone pretending to be a police officer and directing traffic near Collingwood Avenue. When officers initially arrived on the scene, the suspect was asleep inside his car. They spoke with a nearby group of AEP workers, thinking the suspect might be with them, when the suspect pulled up in his police-themed car. He explained that he was an off-duty police officer at the Glenmont Police Department, working on assignment for a watchman organization for some extra cash. The officers figured everything checked out and left the scene. However, further behind-the-scenes investigation found that there was no assistance requested or assigned to that area. Thus, a different officer has made his way back to the scene to clear up this discrepancy.
Hi there.
Hey.
There. So, you're an actual Cleveland police officer?
No, I'm not with Cleveland PD. I work for Cleveland Watchmen. We're a security company that hires only off-duty police officers to do traffic control for...
Are you an off-duty police officer?
Yeah.
So, who are you with?
Pickaway Sheriff's Office.
Pickaway?
Yeah.
He's just claimed to be a deputy with the Pickaway County Sheriff's Office, working off-duty with an organization called Cleveland Watchmen, which is actually a legitimate company that provides off-duty work for authorized police officers. The problem is that the suspect told the officers in the first encounter that he worked for the Glenmont Police Department, not the Pickaway County Sheriff's Department.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're out of Ohio, and you're here working in Franklin County in Whitehall as an off-duty police officer.
No, I'm working as a security guard. So we do.
No, you're uniform marked as a police officer. You're working as a police officer right now with a car that has red and blue lights on it.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got some paperwork I can give to you from.
Absolutely, and I'll need to get your information. I've been asked to come up here by my deputy chief and get that.
Okay.
Because here you.
74-105.
So you want to help over here? We're finished up with the work anyway, but they offered it, I guess, as special duty to your guys.
No, they did not.
Okay. That's what we were told.
Not at all. Nope. Not at all. And if it gets offered to us, if we pass it, we have to give it to Franklin County.
And they said they offered it to them and they passed too. So.
No, they did not.
Okay.
The officer claims multiple times that they have been in communication with multiple police departments who've given them the okay to be there. He also says, quote, "That's what we were told." His language here is notably vague, as he doesn't make any mention of who they or we could be. Presumably, they is Cleveland Watchmen, and we is other off-duty officers employed by the company. However, if this were entirely true, he would certainly have a name or two he could give to the officer to add credibility to his story. According to Ohio Revised Code Section 2913.441, it's illegal to display on a motor vehicle the emblem of a law enforcement agency. There doesn't appear to be any law enforcement insignia on the car, and while it's not illegal to paint your car the same colorway as a patrol car, there do appear to be emergency lights affixed to the top of the vehicle. Section 4513.17 very plainly states that flashing lights are prohibited on motor vehicles, with the exception of blinkers and hazard lights, both of which come standard on all vehicles. This law doesn't pertain to special vehicles such as authorized emergency, construction, or funeral escort vehicles. This could technically count as an emergency vehicle if it is being operated by a commissioned police officer for authorized purposes. The suspect has provided the officer proof of his credentials. Let's see how this goes.
By chance, so I get your information? Are you full-time over in Pickaway?
I live in Pickaway, so let's see.
74-105.
So I left the sheriff's office there. I'm going to. I was full-time there. I left full-time as a jail dep there.
So you're not even a police officer.
Currently, I'm starting a new commission with a village up in Richland County. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but what I'm saying is you're not even a police officer.
Copy.
You are currently not a full-time or a part-time police officer anywhere.
Reserve.
Okay, where are you a reserve officer at?
So, give me a second, I'll give you the name of the village.
The suspect is now claiming he was the deputy at the Pickaway Sheriff's Department, but that he no longer works there. Instead, he's now a reserve officer at a place of which he doesn't know the name. Notice that the suspect is doing a remarkable amount of fidgeting with his fingers and the objects in his hands, likely in an attempt to release built-up anxiety and nerves. He doesn't seem entirely confident in his purpose for being here.
Because it got hooked up through the company here that I'm working with. So.
Okay, do you have an ID from that village?
Not with me, no.
Not with you?
No.
So you don't have an ID, you don't have a badge. What's the badge you were displaying earlier?
Sorry?
What's the badge you were displaying earlier?
What do you mean?
Do you have a badge?
Yes.
What was that badge you were displaying earlier?
That's my old Pickaway one.
So you have a Pickaway County badge, but you don't work for them?
It's a previous one from there, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You have that with you currently?
Yeah, it's a flex badge.
Can I see that, please?
Yeah.
A flex badge is a flexible and metallic but non-metal version of a police badge that can be easily ordered custom online. If it isn't an old badge and he didn't purchase it online, that in and of itself isn't illegal. Using it to take on the duties and appearance of a police officer is illegal. Seeing as he's admitted to not currently being an active police officer, Section 912 of the US Code, Title 18, makes it a federal crime if he is using the badge to assume the role and responsibilities of an active police officer.
From them, it's previous.
All right.
So.
55 to 63.
Why do I feel like I'm about to actually get
You
turned up by you guys for...
Yes, I'm going to need you to stop up here, please. I'm on the KFC lot at Collingwood Broad. This has gotten much deeper.
What are you on?
Yeah, well, I talked about you earlier, that traffic detail.
Okay.
So the company,
25 to 55.
company's trying to get you a reserve commission.
They already got one.
They already got one.
So the guy that owns the company, he's in my unit for the guard, and then another guy that's in my unit is Chief of Police,
Stand by.
Sergeant Improper. And let me call John, who is the command sergeant major in my unit. He's also the...
Okay, those are all military people, right?
Yeah, but he's the owner of this company. He's the owner of this.
Just a few minutes prior, the suspect claimed the company was owned by 2 Cleveland police officers. Now, he's claiming the company is owned by a sergeant major in the US Army. While this circumstance isn't impossible, the suspect's story is coming out piecemeal and very incoherently, making it seem like he's unsure of his own situation.
So let me call him.
That's fine.
Hey, John. Okay. So I'm out here in Whitehall.
Yeah, 55. Copy no oil number for me.
The suspect takes his conversation out of earshot of the officer. Meanwhile, the officer has a private conversation of his own.
995845.
25-55.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you code 5?
Yeah, I am right at the moment.
Not quite sure what you got up there, but if it's going to be like an impersonation kind of thing, we're right down the road. We can help you with that part of it.
Yeah, actually, you both might want to come down here to handle maybe the military end of it.
Okay, we'll be down that way. He's just finishing some notes.
As more officers make their way over, our on-scene officer takes the opportunity to talk to the nearby group of workers.
Are you guys out of Pennsylvania? You guys out of PA?
The company is, but we're...
Okay. I just saw the tag. That's what I was wondering if you guys
Hey,
were
do you
out.
know an Aaron Oakley? I think he used to be a Whitehall cop. Now he's a lineman.
Here.
I didn't know if you might know him or not.
No, he could have been one of our auxiliaries. There's a ton of them. That,
What's going on? I don't understand.
Go ahead and sit around.
He's not a police officer.
Location from 220.
you got, who's the supervisor?
He's gone.
He's
He's
gone.
gone right now. He went to AEP.
That's
Do we need
his
to go
second
back?
command now.
Okay.
I want to say AWP hired him. Did AWP hire you?
AWP, or Area Wide Protective, is a legitimate traffic control service stationed in Ohio. Their traffic control personnel are usually contracted out to construction areas and events to regulate the flow of cars surrounding the area.
AWP hired. So
AWP or AEP?
AWP.
Area Wide Protective.
Aha, okay, them. Okay.
I assume you guys may have had problems with them the way you said that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So the village is Glenmont, Ohio, and I was trying to call the chief just now to have him vouch for it. So, hey George. Okay, so Whitehall Police is here.
The suspect conveniently gets another phone call from someone named George. So far, he's reported nothing back from his lengthy conversation with his Sergeant Major John, and apparently the chief of the department he works for just isn't available right now. Less than a minute later, other officers arrive on the scene and the responding officer starts giving them the insane rundown.
Here, this off duty.
Where's the military guy?
Well, that's who.
What's up? He is.
All right, real quick. So, this is what he was displaying. It's fake.
That's cool. Well, maybe that's
He is armed.
Okay.
He's fully armed, acting as a police officer. He has a vest on that says police. All right. Now he says that he worked for Pickaway County Sheriff's Office, but he no longer works for them. And I said, well, let me see that badge you were displaying. He said, well, and I said, no, let me see the badge you were just displaying when I pulled up, because he was showing it to Jeff Hart. So this is what I took off of him. I said, so who do you work for now? And he says, well, I work for a village. I said, well, let me see your ID for them and our badge. He said, well, I don't have any. I said,
For who? Who does he work for?
Well, he finally gave it to me because he had to call his boss, who is the owner, who, they're all related from the military. They're all in the same military unit together, who is either retired or off-duty Cleveland police officer who started this.
Yeah, but my question is he a police officer?
Well, he's on the phone. He's trying to get a hold of his chief now of this village, who is the village. It's Glenmont, Ohio. But he says this Cleveland police officer, who he works for this company, is trying to get them all reserve commissions through this village. So he's currently not a police officer anywhere.
Okay, so he's not a police officer.
Yeah, he him-hums around about that. He won't give you a direct answer, but he finally said, you are not a police officer anywhere. Well, no, not really. I said, you're not commissioned anywhere. So.
All right, so he's not a police officer.
No.
So, if he is not a police officer and he was working for this company.
Well, they don't know. They basically, so this area-wide protection, as soon as he said that, that's the one I dealt with before with this same exact problem. Area-wide protection hired Cleveland Watchmen, which is off-duty Cleveland and other officers, through a military group. It's a group of military people that are officers. They hired them, and he came down. That's why this comes back, I guess, to the company. And it's got red and blues.
Well, here's what I suggest. One of two options. I'll leave it to you. You're the boss out here. But I would say, if he's working for this company and he is not a police officer, we have two options. One, which he can work for a company and he can regulate traffic.
I know,
Yeah.
but he worked for them. He worked for Pickaway.
What's his name?
He's got Casey Williams.
Oh, yeah.
He's over there. You know
Casey?
him?
Yeah, he was fired from Pickaway.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, he's displaying their badge out here.
That's a made badge. That's not our badge.
Right, yeah.
We don't provide those and we don't approve those.
A couple more important points have been established here. The badge is 100% fake and that the suspect actually did work as a corrections officer at Pickaway County, but was fired. The part about him being fired from Pickaway doesn't necessarily contradict his story, as he did suggest that he had a personal door into the Cleveland Watchman business. Thus, was presumably able to slide in without an official occupation as an officer. But, as previously explained, the part about the badge definitely has criminal implications.
Okay, so I can't get a hold of the chief from Richland Township, which is Glenmont.
It's Richland Township.
Yeah.
So it's a township police department,
No,
or
it's
is
the
it
village,
village?
village in Richland Township. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a village in Richland.
But you have no ID from them,
No,
all right?
no,
And have you ever been sworn in by them?
I've talked to the chief.
No.
that's
I'm
all
asking
we
you a
ask.
direct question. Have you been sworn in
Now,
by
it's very
them?
important you answer this correctly, because being a former police officer or someday a current police officer, you know if you lie in this situation, you go directly to jail.
No, I'm not.
So I'm going to put that right
listen,
out.
I'm not.
So
trying-
if
I'm
you
not,
are telling me you are a police officer right now, is that what you're telling me?
No.
So you are not a commissioned police officer.
I spoke with the chief.
That's not what I'm asking you.
Okay.
I'm asking you one question. Are you a commissioned police officer through the state of Ohio?
I have an OPUDA certificate.
That's not what I'm
That's
asking.
not what we're asking you.
I'm explaining to you. I have
No, you're not. You're not answering the question. You're avoiding the question. It's very simple. Are you a sworn police officer anywhere in the state of
means
Ohio in
commission.
any department?
Not currently.
Okay, that's the
Not that.
question.
Well,
Not currently.
I'm unsure. I'm unsure.
You can't be unsure.
You can't be unsure.
You would have to raise your hand, swear,
Okay.
sign a form, and you would get
I've talked to the
paperwork on that.
Hello.
Talking to the chief is not enough.
Yeah, the chief of police is here. So
So he's not commissioned with Peg Leg. So that he's not going to get back.
okay. 1 second. Would you be willing to speak to the supervisor from the company,
From
from Watchman?
Watchman?
Yes.
Is he an actual police officer?
You are an actual police officer, correct? Okay. Okay. Yes, he is. Where are you commissioned at?
It doesn't matter. He's not here doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's the superintendent of the state highway patrol. That's irrelevant to the situation. So you can talk to him if you
I
want,
will.
Rex, but I got no.
Yeah. Hello? Yeah, this is Sergeant Atkins with the Whitehall Police Department. Okay. Well, the issue is that we have a off-duty officer, or not an off-duty officer, a person acting as an off-duty officer with a semi-marked vehicle. It's red and it's black and white. It doesn't have any police markings on it, but it does have red and blue lights on it that were being displayed out on one of our main thoroughfares, Broad Street, okay, with a gentleman wearing a vest that's marked police and a full duty belt with a badge that says Pickaway County Sheriff's Office, stating he's working special duty here in the city of Whitehall. All right. Now the issue is that this company that works for AEP, they never contacted us about any special duty, all right, to work. And I know the lady at AEP because I deal with her all the time, and she always contacts me if they have something here in Whitehall that they need special duty for. All right. So.
And I asked about this because I did. I really did. I promise you. Okay. I promise you guys 110%. I am not.
And I've had this same issue with AWP before. So I'm not putting the blame totally on you or anything like that with the Cleveland Watchman group, but AWP has tried this before, and then they say, well, no one wants to work. Well, that's not true. Okay, we have our own special duty officers that work these traffic details, okay, and if we can't get it, we contract with the sheriff's office here locally. Let me figure it out and call you back, and I'll let you know. All right, ready?
He said they're flagsmen. Yeah, but I know there's the one that hired reached out and hired him.
All right, I'm gonna leave it to you.
Yeah, he
no
says,
matter what, we're gonna do a code 1 on it, right?
yeah, he says that I just talked to the owner of this company. He says that this area-wide protection contacted them, all right, and said, we have a detail in Columbus that we can't get covered. Can you guys do it? He said, I was not aware it was in, he goes, I'm from Cleveland, I don't know your jurisdictional boundaries down there. He said, I was told it was in Columbus and they did not want it and were not available. And I explained how we do it. He says, I understand, I totally understand. understand what you mean, that it's in your jurisdiction, and you contact the county if not. He said he's never met this guy. He says, I've never met him. He goes, I was advised through other people that he worked for the village of Glenmont, and he had a commission with them. He goes, and we hired him because he lived down there. He goes, I would never have sent, he goes, this is their car. He said, we maintain our own fleet of cars up here because we work mostly up here in Cleveland area. He goes, I would have never sent him 5 hours away with one of our cars if I didn't know he wasn't a police officer. He goes, I'm being, and I said, all right, I understand that.
All right, well, he's getting hold of the chief of that department, so we'll verify there that he's not that one and he's not that one, obviously.
And he does not have a CCW.
I'm okay with whichever route you go with it. I mean, he doesn't have a CCW, so I'm okay if you want to write it and then just put a stop to it, or if you want to charge him. I don't care what. All right.
The supervisor of Cleveland Watchman has just confirmed several things. 1, that he's never met the suspect in person. 2, the contract their company received that day was actually in Columbus, an entirely different city. And 3, while the suspect is a member of their company, the supervisor was unaware that he was not currently an active police officer. He'd heard through word of mouth that the suspect was commissioned at the village of Glenmont, but he'd never seen any proof. What's more, the suspect does not have a concealed carry permit, but currently has a firearm in the car. Unfortunately for the suspect, this incident would occur just 1 year before Ohio would repeal its law requiring gun owners to have carry licenses. But as of right now, he's facing a misdemeanor charge for the firearm.
You good if we clear them?
Yeah, what's his...
You need any more, Rex?
No, no thanks. What's his, did you contact Pickway?
I did. I contact Lieutenant.
All right. What was their take on it? What did they...
He said absolutely not. He's left a while. He left before I left because he was under investigation and he was going to be dismissed. So he chose to quit before that investigation ended.
Did they get all their badges back?
Yes, that's a made one.
I know, but that's what I'm saying, because when I initially asked him, he said he had a Pickway County badge.
That one.
Well, and that's when I said, show me.
Yeah, it has to be checked off. When you leave, you have to turn in your ID.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
So, yes,
I want to make sure he does not have anything else on him.
No, so he probably because he worked in the jail, he never worked the road. So when he worked in the jail, our deputies still get the deputy badges. So he probably scanned, because that looks like it's just a sticker. So he probably scanned that, had that pre-made before he left, turned in all his stuff, and then left. Which Lieutenant's requesting a copy of the report as well, because he's pretty pissed off that he's representing Pickway County.
I understand. All right. Yeah, you guys are good then. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Now, not only is the suspect in trouble with the law, he could also be in trouble with his former employers at Pickaway, if they decide to press charges for deliberately misrepresenting their department.
If you just want to hang out by the car, that'd be great.
I did get him to verify that he did have the gun on him while he was sitting in the cruiser. So it's up to you what you want to do. I'm still going to take a report on it so I can send it to Pickaway. But yeah, it's really up to you what you want to do with that.
I think we've kind of ruined his career anywhere. This company's going to fire him anyway. I just talked to the owner. He's like, no, we were not aware of that. No. And I said, well, what do you want to do with this car? And he said, well, we'll have to send people down there if he gets arrested. So.
Sworn in at Glenmont. So he's not.
He's not. He's never been sworn in.
So I talked to the chief. He was supposed to take care of it.
So you talked to the chief today?
Not yet.
Chief Proper?
No, I was just trying to call him.
You were just trying to call him?
For what?
Do you have his phone number?
Yes, of your time, uninterrupted, to explain exactly what.
Yeah, one second.
So he's saying he should be. When was this supposed to happen if it didn't happen now?
I was supposed to be this week to finish everything, paperwork and everything.
We'll go back.
I was told it's good. I have the chief's word, and I went on a man's word. That's what it is.
You went on it, what do you want to do? You don't have any documentation. You see the issue.
No, I do, and that's why I'm trying my best to call the chief. I can't get a hold of him.
Because we're not exactly in business of just
I understand.
Letting people come out here and say we're all the same, one team, one fight, right? You're not even hired.
Because he doesn't have a CCW permit, right?
It's clear why this sounds extremely suspicious. A police officer cannot presume any of the duties of an actual police officer without being sworn in. Officers must take the oath of office upon being commissioned at a department or agency and following every promotion. It must be done before anything else, therefore, it is generally not something that is put on hold.
Well, we're going to take him to jail, but I'm definitely going to take him in and summons him probably. All right. Unless did we get any information? Unless Glenmont says that he has a...
Glenmont, the captain said he's going to text the chief. He said that is a number to the chief, he says, but it's like 1 and 2. It'd be like the chief and one of the deputy chiefs. He was like, no. He's like, I've never even heard of him.
Well, here's the thing.
He was like, he said he may very well be in process, and maybe somebody knew him, recommended him.
Well, he's in the guard with the chief, is what it sounds like. So
with the chief himself?
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like the chief of this PD is his sergeant in the guard.
Okay.
But this chief, the only one who can verify the suspect's story, isn't answering the phone. Regardless, the officer who was on the call has come back with some startling information. The police department he claims to currently be employed by has no idea who he is either. Given that no one at the department knows the suspect at all, except allegedly the chief, it's safe to officially say that the suspect doesn't work there.
Told by the guys, like, hey, we'll take care of a commission, we'll get it taken care of, it's no big deal. I come out here, I was told, hey, you can start, make some money. That's all I was trying to do. Please do not, I'm asking you for courtesy, man to man. Please do not ruin my career. Please, please, please.
I think you did that kind of on your own, Casey.
Please.
All right. The Pickaway County, you knew you didn't work for Pickaway County. You displayed that badge. All right. You're out here acting in a law enforcement capacity, displaying a badge that you have no right to have, or a facsimile of a badge. That's not even a real badge. Yeah. You were aware of that.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not real.
Okay. So, all right, you're going to be charged.
Oh, seriously?
I'm serious. Okay. Now we're going to be nice about this. Okay. And we're going to take you over, and you can take your gun belt off, and you can set it on the hood of that car, okay? And we're going to take you in. We don't have to handcuff you. This officer is going to pat you down, all right? And we'll let you out, all right, on a summons, all right? Now,
are we too far for me to?
We're
listen.
Okay.
It's completely deceptive.
Here's the problem. You don't understand that right now we can charge you for improperly handling in a vehicle. I can charge you for impersonating a police officer. All right, there's tons of charges.
What are you charging me?
Here, well, probably the impersonation of a police officer.
So the best thing to do right now is to just take off the belt.
Yeah, and I'm
all right, so let's step over here and take care of that first.
Smith, right here. Right here.
All right.
Take off the belt, and then I'm going to search.
For the previously explained reasons, it's extremely unlikely that the suspect was deliberately directed to go out on duty without being commissioned. Either the suspect is omitting information or is lying altogether. The suspect was charged with impersonating a police officer and improper handling of a firearm inside of a vehicle, 3rd and 4th degree felonies respectively. A huge thank you to NBC4 Columbus for providing us with this video. You can view and drop a like on the raw footage over on their channel. If you want more of the craziest police encounters, have a look at our previous videos and subscribe to be notified of brand new police stops.